Hey guys, so I just made it to work and I decided again to do a vlog in the car before I go in. I may also actually vlog today at work since I am working alone today, but that is besides the point. So, what I wanted to talk about in today's video, if you couldn't tell by the title, is what happened at the second hospitalization. Well, actually, this would be the first hospital that I went to that I got admitted to, but the second time I was seen in the emergency room when my liver was basically going into liver failure. So, if you're not aware, at the beginning of March 2024, I started going into liver failure after collapsing at work. And so there are other videos that have previously been recorded that are posted on my channel prior to this one. And I've talked about kind of what's going on now, but I wanted to share my experience as I felt comfortable telling my story of what happened. So this is the second hospital that I went to after I had gone back to the emergency room at the hospital that I work at. And the provider that was in the emergency room that night told me that it was just anxiety and to go home and take some anxiety medications and I would be fine. If I had listened to that, I would have died. But so after being in extreme pain and continuing to be in extreme pain even the next morning after I had tried to, sleep but wasn't able to, I was still having really bad pain. I started throwing up uncontrollably. Like, I couldn't keep anything down. I was so sick. And so I decided to go 45 minutes away to the next closest hospital. So I checked into their emergency room, kind of told them the backstory of what had happened the day before, which was when all of this had happened with my liver at work. And after a while, like, they had sent me to do an ultrasound. They had done liver function testing to see what my liver enzymes were at, because they were able to see the lab work that was done here at the hospital that I work at. And they could see that my liver enzymes were elevated then. They saw that my EKGs were abnormal and I was in a lot of pain. And I told them, I don't know what's going on, but honestly, I can't keep any food down. And, at the very least, I need some fluids. So I didn't know if I had the flu or something like that going on, but I just wanted help at that point. So basically, they admitted me there, and I was admitted there for 2 days. So they did a whole bunch of testing there. They did imaging, additional lab work every day. While I was there, they had let me start a clear liquid diet. So I was able to have fruit juice. I was able to get these Italian ice things that were so delicious. I don't recommend the lemonade ones because the lemonade Italian ice did not taste very good, but they had some cherry ones and those were delicious, but I also love cherry. So anything cherry flavored or black cherry, I love that flavor. So I was definitely a fan of that. I was able to have, or allowed to have, popsicles, Jello, like I said, fruit juices. I was able to have broth, but couldn't have noodles or anything in it, just broth. And so they gave that to me while I was admitted to the hospital there. I was also still getting IV fluids the entire time, just because I was still throwing up while I was there. Even with the anti-nausea medication that they had given me, I was still throwing up. I was still struggling really bad. I was still in excruciating pain. And my godmother and her sister actually had mentioned to me after I got out of the hospital in the Lower Peninsula of Michigan, where I was there for almost a week, they had said that while I was at this second hospital, in their opinion, I looked like I was yellow, like jaundiced. I didn't really recognize that, but they said that they had recognized it. So I'm not really sure if that was true. Like, I've tried to look back at a picture that my godmother had taken of me while I was in that hospital, and I don't really notice it, but then again, like, it's not the greatest quality picture, so I'm not sure if I was jaundiced or not. I was having severe back pain, severe belly pain, like in the abdominal area, but also like in the upper stomach area, like right under my breast. So it was very, very painful. And they did all this testing. Like I said, they did an MRI, they did CT, they did an ultrasound of my abdomen, because for whatever reason, these people don't communicate, and they thought that I had my gallbladder, which I've had my gallbladder out for years. And I had told them that, but they were, I guess, concerned about my gallbladder, which they should have been, I guess, because it wasn't there. But I had to tell multiple providers that over my hospitalization and testing for this thing that's still going on. Like, even recently, when I went down to Grand Rapids, Michigan for additional testing, when I had an endoscopic ultrasound, they had even, like, I had to mention to that provider that I also didn't have a gallbladder. So anyways, like I said, it was a very painful situation. At the end of that 2 days that I was in that hospital, she had told me, I was seeing a nurse practitioner, who was, like, the attending was kind of busy because the attending was in the ER. So the people that were inpatient, like in observation, the nurse practitioner would come to see them. Like, the attending would round with the nurse practitioner every morning. But other than that, I would see this nurse practitioner all the time while I was there. So she had told me that at that point they thought it was just something viral because they weren't able to find anything on the labs that they had done there. Other than the fact that while they were doing the CT, they incidentally found that I have an issue with my spine, and I will talk about that in another video. It's something that I kind of knew about in a way, but wasn't entirely sure, because the imaging that I had done when they told me about this problem was done at a chiropractor's office, and like, she couldn't really answer my questions, so I wasn't entirely sure if it was an accurate image, but obviously it was, because now the same thing's being told to me again. So anyways, I just thought that I would share that. So they discharged me from the hospital. At that point, I was ready to go because they weren't really doing anything for my pain. I was in excruciating pain still. Like, it was horrible. And when I went home, even after I got discharged from the hospital, I was still up. Like, I was up every hour taking the hottest shower that my skin could tolerate, just to, like, let the water run over my body to try to help my pain. That's how bad my pain was. And I'm not somebody who likes to take pain medications, not that I had any anyway. They basically just told me to take ibuprofen and that everything would be fine, which normally I take naproxen or ibuprofen anyway. So whatever, but it didn't really help my pain whatsoever. And like I said, I was up every hour. I was still throwing up. It was horrible. Still unable to keep things down. Like, even popsicles, I would eat a popsicle and then, like, have to throw up from the popsicle. It was horrible. Yeah. But anyways, I just thought that I would share that story with you. There is more to come about my story, but this was the second hospital that I was seen at. First hospital I was admitted to, and that was, like I said, 2 days. And then I will come back to tell you the story of what happened after my discharge, as well as like, why we decided to go back to another hospital, which was actually the original hospital that, like, the hospital I work at. Thankfully, there was another provider, but I will talk about that in that video. I'm sorry if my videos are kind of all over the place, but this was a very traumatic situation for me. And so, like, it is difficult for me to talk about because, like, I almost died in this whole process, and it was very, very rough. Like, you guys know, even after I had my stroke, if you've been following me for that long, you know that, like, I filmed vlogs while I was in the hospital shortly after my stroke. And, like, I didn't film anything in the hospital, the second hospital I was admitted to downstate, in Petoskey, Michigan. Like, I didn't film anything there until, like, I had been there for 3, almost 4 days at that point. And yeah, it was bad. I was in pain even down there, unable to eat, drink anything. Yeah. So anyways, I will share more of my story again when I feel comfortable doing so and when I feel like I'm ready to share it. Like I said, it is a whole process, so there's multiple more videos to come on it, but this was just kind of what happened. And just to give you guys a little idea, it was not anything viral, because at the second hospital I was admitted to, they did like tests for all these really weird virus issues, and I had nothing. None of my viral testing came back positive. Like, everything, they tested me for everything and nothing came back positive on that. So anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. If you have any questions or anything you'd like me to go into more detail on in regards to my liver and this whole process and my experience, let me know. I'd be glad to share, and I will talk to you guys next time.